Recently, I've been sharing some of my experiences with my difficulty inserting my tracheostomy tube and also the problems I'm having with my trachea being very, very sore. I happened to mention in one of my videos that the cuff on my tracheostomy tube will not stay inflated. It will just deflate. It's very frustrating because once the cuff deflates, then I no longer have a sealed circuit. Air is able to escape around the cuff up through my nose and mouth. And this is especially detrimental when I sleep because I'm not getting the full respiratory support I'm supposed to. So when that happens, I usually wake up because my carbon dioxide levels go very, very high and my brain's like, whoa, whoa, wake up, wake up, wake up. Then I have to go and find the cuff on my tracheostomy tube in the dark, find a syringe, and then inflate the cuff on my tracheostomy tube. The cuff is completely inflated now, and now I'm getting full respiratory support. I have to wait for the carbon dioxide to go down. I have to get a number of breaths and just breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, breathe out. And once my carbon dioxide levels go back down, then I hopefully can go back to sleep. But again, every 30 to 60 minutes, I usually wake up because the cuff deflates. So I was very frustrated because I was like, oh, okay, I need to change up my tracheostomy tube because clearly it is the cuff. The cuff must have a leak in it and it's just deflating. And I've just been so frustrated because these Shiley tracheostomy tubes of late deflate a lot. So one of y'all was very sweet and very kind and told me, oh, I know a solution to that. You can use a dead end cap, also known as a Luer lock cap. You attach that to the end of the pilot line and then it will stop deflating on you. And I'm thinking, no, that's not right. No, don't be telling me. No, it is not. It is not my pilot line. I'm sure it's not my pilot line. No. I'm sure it's the cuff. There has to be a hole in the cuff. I'm sure they just are using faulty glue and the glue is just not holding and it's just getting a leak and then it's deflating. No, I was pretty sure. No. I don't think this cuff, this pilot line, I don't think that's the issue. That was my mindset. But even though I discarded the idea, like all ideas, I try not to completely discard them until I thoroughly prove that they are wrong. So as God had made everything happen, my durable medical equipment company was out of the regular tubing they usually send me from my intravenous nutrition called TPN. The tubing they usually send me is in a all-in-one packaging, and now they're sending me this other tubing, which you have to build your own tubing set. You have to put everything together, and one of the things they included was this back check valve. So I thought I had absolutely no use for some of these items because I'm not attaching this back check valve. And furthermore, my tubing sets that I needed to attach and build my own, that was not happening. That takes a lot of work and keeping things sterile. And I just didn't see that happening. And thankfully, I am a hoarder. So I did have some of the other tubing sets that would get me through. I have probably about 100, 150 of those other tubing sets. So I'm good for a number of months until hopefully that back order is done and they start sending out the new tubing. But with all that, so I have these extra supplies and the person told me I needed a Luer lock cap. What is a Luer lock cap? I mean, really, I have no idea what this is. So I search online. I see that Luer lock caps are these little red caps that are usually on the end of my intravenous antibiotics that I get from my infusion pharmacy. Yeah, praise be to God, I'm not on any intravenous antibiotics at the moment, so I don't have any of those caps, and I did not keep any of those caps. But then I just see it's this cap. I'm thinking, okay, I must have these caps somewhere. Something, there has to be some sort of cap that's going to fit on this end of this line. I'm sure I have something. I mean, I have all these medical supplies. So then I was thinking about these back check valves that I was sending. I was like, there is this cap on there. Maybe that will work. Maybe that'll work. So I open it up and I'm thinking, okay, well, there are two different caps. There's this cap and this cap. Well, this cap looks like it's much more difficult than this cap. So by default, I was just thinking, okay, okay, that came off. Well, maybe this might work. Maybe that might work. There's also this way. I'm going to first check this way. So I check. Doesn't work. Let's check this other way. Oh, well, look at that. That's interesting. That's a little cap for that. Very interesting. I wonder if this really does work. And then as I'm thinking about this, because it's not quite time to go to bed yet, I see that there is a spring inside the pilot line. I've always known there's a spring, but as I'm thinking about springs, I think, yes, springs do have issues sometimes. If you had springs and you spring them together a couple times, they sometimes deform and they don't spring back properly. Also, you just get defective springs. And I'm thinking, maybe that's the issue with these tracheostomy tubes. Maybe it's not this cuff. Maybe it's not this glue that I've been thinking about. Maybe this spring inside, right here, this spring, maybe that's defective. And that actually makes a lot of sense, because sometimes you get these tracheostomy tubes, they inflate okay for a day or two, and then they just suddenly start losing their air, and it gets to be worse and worse and worse. And I'm thinking, yeah, a defective spring would do that. It just doesn't hold air. It's not springing back shut, and then it's not this little cap that's supposed to happen. Yeah, that's not closing. But if you put a cap on there, oh, that seals the line. That seals the line. So if this spring is defective, that will totally, completely seal the line. I think we're onto something. I think the YouTube viewer is right. I think the YouTube viewer might be right about this. And the YouTube viewer said he got the recommendation from a respiratory therapist. And I'm thinking, why has no respiratory therapist ever told me that? I've told many respiratory therapists that this cuff deflates, and asking, do you have any recommendations? And they're just like, oh no, it's a faulty cuff. We just have those from time to time, and you just need to replace the tracheostomy tube. But now I'm thinking, maybe they just need caps. And furthermore, why aren't these tracheostomy tubes sold with caps? I mean, that seems logical, right? Like it should have a cap. But then I'm thinking, no, because then people are going to take the syringe and going to go, oh, it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. So then I'm thinking, yeah, maybe they just don't have a cap, because then, oh yeah, now the syringe. Oh, now it works. Now it works. Oh yeah. Yes, lots to think about. So as I'm brewing all this in my mind, thinking, that is probably the solution to my issue with my tracheostomy tube. So that night, I inflate the tracheostomy tube, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to put my cap on here. I'm going to go to sleep, and let's see if I wake up in 30 to 60 minutes with the cuff deflated on my tracheostomy tube. Doo-doo-doo, boo-doo-boom. 6.5 hours later, I wake up and I'm like, oh, the cuff, it has deflated, but it's not completely flat. It's not like this. No, it's just partially deflated. Oh, 6.5 hours. 6.5 hours. I got some sleep. I'm so excited. I got some sleep. Yes, this cap was a miracle. It kept the air inside my tracheostomy tube cuff. It kept the air in for 6.5 hours. That was incredible, because I haven't gotten a good night's sleep. I can't even tell you, in a very long time, because this cuff constantly deflates, especially during the night. So I'm always waking up, always trying to find my syringe and going, okay, gotta inflate the cuff. Oh. But now this cap seals the end. And it doesn't deflate so much. It still deflates after 6.5 hours. And now I have been using this cap for a couple weeks now. And unfortunately, this tracheostomy tube is now 6 weeks old. And now it is starting to deflate faster and faster. So yes, this cuff there is an issue with this cuff, because really once you cap the end of this cuff should just stay inflated, for a very long time, until you need to add a little bit more air, because air will just seep out of the cuff. It just will happen. But now my cuff is starting to deflate like every 1 to 2 hours. So now there is definitely an issue with this cuff. And so now I'm probably going to have to change out the tracheostomy tube, because now that this end is sealed, this is no longer the issue. Now it really must be the cuff on my tracheostomy tube. But I just wanted to share this with you. So if you have a Luer lock or any sort of cap, look through your medical supplies. All you need is there's this end here, and all you need to do is put some sort of cap on the end, so it just makes a seal, so any air can't escape out this end. That's all you really need. Whether it looks like this, there's other Luer locks. I think they also are called dead end caps. Just any sort of cap that will fit on there. There are caps that don't fit on there, so I'm going to show you here. I have this other cap that's on this other piece of this back check valve. Yeah, I always plan ahead here. Okay, can't get this off. Okay, video fail. Yeah, I'm supposed to put these on my TPN tubing sets. Oh yeah, it's so easy to get off. I can't get it off. Okay, yeah, you're not supposed to actually do that because that would contaminate this. But anyways, just for this video, there's another cap. So there's another cap. So trying to put this on the end of this tubing, yeah, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. So you really need to find something that actually has a cap that can fit on air. I'm not sure. Oh, no, that doesn't really fit. That back check valve doesn't really fit. Nope, that side doesn't fit either. So you're just going to have to do some trial and error. This blue one does work. I think the red one probably would also work. That's on the end of my intravenous antibiotic. I think that cap would also work, but this is a Luer lock cap. And really, I sincerely thank the person. Thank you, 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 thank you for telling me about this Luer lock cap. You've saved me so many hours of sleep. I can't even tell you. I've gotten so much sleep. Like, it's incredible when you're not waking up every 30, 60 minutes trying to inflate the cuff on your tracheostomy tube. It's so exciting. So my next goal is now actually to change out my tracheostomy tube. When am I going to do that? I don't know. When I have a lot of confidence, because my last couple tracheostomy tube exchanges have not gone well. I can't get the tracheostomy tube in, so I need to build up some confidence. But this is now leaking even with this cap on. So I do know, even with this cap on, if it's leaking, it has to be the cuff. Unless, hey, somebody out there in YouTube world is like, hey, no. There is another way. There's another way that you can fix this. If you know how to fix cuffs that are inside without taking them out and contaminating them, I guess, or I don't know. If you know a way to fix the cuffs that are leaking, let me know, because I am wide open to making my tracheostomy tube cuffs last longer, the tracheostomy tubes last longer. Because these current ones, yeah, this one, even with a new one, the cuff will start leaking after about a week, and then I'm going to put this cap on, and then, yeah, eventually it'll start leaking with the actual cuff too. So, I know. And if you're out there in YouTube world and just make a spectacular tracheostomy tube that doesn't have a leaky cuff and has a functional spring. Shyly, if you're listening, good words. Make a functional spring, and that would be great. And no leaky leaks in the cuff. I would really love your tracheostomy tubes if you would do that. Or even if somebody else would just make a tracheostomy tube that would do that and it's not made from silicone. Because I know the bivono tracheostomy tubes are brilliant, but silicone, I'm allergic, so not an option for me. So thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like and subscribe down below. Please also remember to comment and share. It really helps my YouTube channel. I hope you have a great day and a wonderful week. Bye-bye.